Introduction. Why the 9 to 5 is a lie. Most people are taught a simple formula: go to school, get a good job, save a portion of your income, invest in the stock market, and if all goes well, you might retire rich at 65. But here's the truth MJ DeMarco exposes in The Millionaire Fastlane. This formula is broken. It's not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to keep you compliant. The conventional path is what DeMarco calls the slow lane. It's slow, uncertain, and built around the idea that wealth is something you grind for over decades. But if you've ever looked around and thought, there has to be more than this, you're right, there is. DeMarco argues that true wealth isn't about retiring one day, it's about freedom now. And to get there, you need to stop trading your time for money, stop believing compound interest will magically save you, and stop thinking that following the crowd will lead to success. It won't. The fast lane is a radically different way of thinking. It's not about luck or shortcuts. It's about building value, owning systems, and creating scalable income streams that break the link between your time and your earnings. This summary isn't just a breakdown of ideas, it's a challenge to wake up, reject mediocrity, and design a life of financial freedom while you're still young enough to enjoy it. Ready to break the script? Let's get into it. Lesson 1. The slow lane will keep you broke forever. The slow lane is the path most people are on, and they don't even know it. It looks responsible on the surface. You work a steady job. You save 10%. You invest in index funds. You wait 40 years and hope it all adds up to something. But MJ DeMarco makes one thing painfully clear. This path is a financial death sentence disguised as discipline. Let's break down the math. Even if you're disciplined, making $60,000 a year, saving diligently, and earning a decent return, you're still at the mercy of time. Your wealth is capped by your ability to work, your salary increases, and how early you started saving, and even then, all your freedom is postponed until you're old. As DeMarco puts it, you sacrifice your life now for a promise you may never live to enjoy. But here's the real danger. You're not in control. You don't control your salary. You don't control the market. You don't control inflation, tax policy, or job security. And yet your entire future depends on them. That's not security, it's a gamble. Even worse, the slow lane traps you in a mindset that celebrates minimal wins. A 3% raise, a 7% return, clipping coupons, skipping lattes. That's not a path to wealth, it's a strategy for barely getting by. The slow lane is also emotionally expensive. You trade 5 days of life for 2. You count down to Friday, dread Monday, and live most of your life in a box, a cubicle, a commute, a system. And while you do that, the years slip by. DeMarco doesn't just criticize the slow lane, he exposes its illusion. It sells safety but delivers mediocrity. It pretends to reward loyalty but punishes independence. And perhaps most dangerously, it teaches people to think small, to accept what's given, to defer dreams, to fear risk more than regret. But here's what millionaires know. Wealth is not about working harder, it's about working differently. The slow lane keeps you on a treadmill. You run and run, but you never leave the cage. The good news? You can step off. But first, you have to see the trap for what it is. You have to stop chasing security and start seeking control. In the next chapter, we'll explore the 3 wealth paths people take and why only one leads to true financial freedom. Lesson 2, Sidewalk versus Slow Lane versus Fast Lane. In The Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco introduces a simple but powerful framework. There are 3 financial paths people take in life: the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane. Each one leads to a drastically different destination. The sidewalk, living for today, broke tomorrow. Sidewalkers live in the now with little thought for the future. Their income and expenses rise in perfect sync. If they make more, they spend more. If they get a bonus, it's gone the next weekend. Debt is normal. Savings are optional. Assets? Rare. They chase status, comfort, or validation, but never build anything sustainable. On the outside, they might look successful, but one job loss or emergency and it all falls apart. Sidewalkers think like this. Life is short, I'll figure it out later. But later always comes. And without a foundation, it usually comes with regret. The slow lane, delayed gratification, delayed life. Slow laners look more responsible. They follow the traditional script, get a job, save, invest modestly, and pray for a rich retirement. They avoid excess but also avoid risk. Everything hinges on time, time in the market, time in a career, time before retirement. Their plan is built on decades of patience and on systems they don't control. It's better than the sidewalk, but still a slow grind with limited freedom in the present. Slow laners think like this. If I play it safe now, I'll enjoy life later. But later often arrives with less energy, fewer years, and unfulfilled dreams. The fast lane. Control, scale, and acceleration. Fast laners flip the script. They don't trade time for money. They create systems that separate income from hours worked. Fast laners own businesses, digital assets, scalable products, or investments they control. They build leverage. They focus on speed, scale, and value. And because they're not waiting for 40 years of compound interest, they create freedom while they're still young enough to enjoy it. Fast laners think like this. I'll build something valuable, scalable, and in my control, so I never have to work for money again. The key difference between these paths isn't just financial, it's philosophical. It's about how you see risk, time, effort, and reward. Only one of these paths puts you in the driver's seat. Which one are you on right now? In the next lesson, we'll break down what makes the fast lane mindset so different and how you can start thinking like a producer instead of a consumer. Lesson 3. The fast lane formula: control, scale, and time. The fast lane isn't a gimmick, it's a complete shift in how you think about money, value, and time. According to MJ DeMarco, there are 3 core pillars that define the fast lane: control, scale, and time unlinking. Understand and apply these and you'll stop chasing money and start creating wealth. 1. Control, own the process, own the outcome. Fast laners don't rely on jobs, bosses, or governments to determine their future. They create their own vehicles, businesses, assets, systems, so they control their income. In the slow lane, you're a passenger. In the fast lane, you're the driver. Control means you're not dependent on the stock market to grow your wealth. You're not waiting for someone to promote you. You decide your value. You set your prices. You choose your customers. This doesn't mean you do everything alone. It means the success or failure of your income engine depends on you, not external forces. The moment you take control, you take responsibility. No excuses, no waiting, just action. Second scale. Break the time for money link. The wealthy don't get rich by working more hours. They get rich by creating something that can reach thousands, even millions of people without additional effort per person. That's scale. Think about a book, an app, an online store, a SaaS product, a licensing deal. You build it once, and it serves many. Your input stays fixed, but your output grows exponentially. This is how fast laners accelerate their wealth. They don't just sell, they multiply. Contrast that with someone working an hourly job. No matter how skilled, they're limited by the clock. The fast laner, on the other hand, creates something that continues earning while they sleep. 3. Time. Unlinking. Buy back your life. The ultimate freedom is time freedom. What good is money if you have no time to enjoy it? Fastlaners design systems that make money without their constant presence. They may hustle in the beginning, late nights, weekends, risk, but they do it to build a system that eventually detaches their income from their calendar. That could mean automating a business, hiring a team, or building digital assets that run 24/7. The goal isn't to be lazy, it's to choose how you spend your time. That's the real definition of wealth. The fast lane is not about shortcuts. It's about engineering freedom through smart, strategic creation. Control your income, scale your output, unlink your time, and you'll never need to work a job again. In the next lesson, we'll look at the math behind millionaire thinking and how fastlaners use value, leverage, and process to multiply their wealth. Lesson 4. Millionaire math, leverage, value, and process. Fastlane. Wealth isn't built on chance, it's built on math, a repeatable, scalable formula that MJ DeMarco calls the wealth equation. Wealth equals net profit times asset value. But how do you grow both? Through 3 core forces: leverage, value, and process. 1. Leverage, multiply your impact. Leverage means doing more with less. It's about extending your influence, reach, and output far beyond what you could do alone. Fastlaners use leverage through systems, people, money, media, and code. A YouTuber makes one video that reaches millions. A software founder writes code once and thousands download it. An e-commerce owner automates orders while they sleep. This is the heart of leverage, creating exponential outcomes from limited effort. You don't get rich by doing more, you get rich by building something that works without you doing more. 2. Value, solve big problems. Money doesn't come from passion, it comes from value. Fastlaners don't chase trends or copy competitors, they solve problems. They ask, what does the world need? And then deliver it better, faster, or more conveniently than anyone else. Value is a function of problem size and solution quality. The bigger the pain point you solve and the more people you serve, the more money you earn. It's that simple. Want to make millions? Create millions in value. 3. Process, system, not hustle. Fast laners don't rely on motivation or hustle. They build repeatable processes that produce results consistently. That could be a product funnel, an onboarding system, or a scalable fulfillment model. A process is what makes a business predictable, measurable, and eventually automatable. If your income depends on what you do today, you don't own a business, you own a job. Millionaires design systems, employees follow them. DeMarco emphasizes that when you combine leverage, reach, value, impact, and process, consistency, you unlock unstoppable momentum. You stop chasing money and start attracting it. So forget the lottery mindset. The fast lane runs on math. And if you understand the equation, you can plug in your unique ideas and build wealth faster than most people think is possible. Conclusion: you don't need permission to get rich young. The biggest lie society tells you is that wealth is only for the lucky few, or that it takes a lifetime to achieve. MJ DeMarco's Millionaire Fastlane shatters that illusion. It proves that you don't need to wait until you're 65 to live free. You don't need to climb a corporate ladder or play it safe for decades. What you need is the courage to think differently and the discipline to act accordingly. The fast lane isn't just about money, it's about freedom, the freedom to choose how you spend your time, the freedom to work because you want to, not because you have to, the freedom to live life on your terms. And the road there, it's not paved with hustle porn or vague affirmations. It's built with strategy, systems, and scale. It's choosing to become a producer, not a consumer, a creator, not an employee forever. It's shifting from passive hoping to active building. You don't need to ask for permission to start. You don't need perfect timing. You just need to decide, am I going to live by default or by design? If there's one message to take away from Millionaire Fastlane, it's this. You are one idea, one system, one commitment away from everything changing. So stop waiting, build your fast lane, and take the wheel.